What up, everyone? Big Greg here. I got asked a pretty interesting question last night, and that question was, what upgrades do I recommend for a pump gun? Short answer, if it's working, don't upgrade it. Pump's kind of a different mindset. You're not going for crazy high rates of fire. And 90% of the upgrades you see on the market for any gun are to achieve, rate of fire, to achieve higher efficiency. They're looking for performance. Pump's more about what feels good to you. And also, the upgrade you put into a pump gun really should depend on the gun that you're putting it into. Case in point, a gentleman contacts me last night. He has, I believe it was a 2K right feed body with a pump kit, and it was straight bottom line. There was no inline reg, and the gun was adjusted off the IVG for velocity. Now, he said, what upgrade should I put into it? I said, honestly, just get an on-off ASA and an inline rig. That's all you really need. And he starts showing me all these different, I believe you want to put a Violent Ego reg on it, and a PE pops. I'm told him, slow your roll there, gang war. It's just a right feed cocker. I know it's your first pump gun, I know it's special to you, but you can get away with a CP on-off and a CP high-pressure reg. And I think I got through to him in explaining that, your next pump gun, when you build that super sweet one, go ahead and put the crazy parts in that. Because the stock parts that are in it, aside from the lack of a high-pressure regulator, are going to work just fine. Actually, the gun will work just fine without the high-pressure regulator, believe it or not. That said, if you want to upgrade your pump gun, you want to build a super sweet pump gun, the parts I recommend, though, are definitely CCM lowers. I happen to be in love with my CCM lowers. I have two guns, my Inception Sniper and the Untrolled Pro Stock here. Both of them have CCM lowers. And aside from the fact that the IVG has 3 holes drilled into it they can fit an Allen key into, so you don't have to unthread the cocking rod to adjust the IVG, the main reason I really like CCM lowers is because they're still being made. I can call up Mel at CCM, say, hey Mel, I need to set a auto cocker style lower tube internal kits, and she would say, okay. And a few days later, there they are. That said, CCM also makes an incredibly good product. I have never had an issue with workmanship from CCM. I've bought a lot of their stuff in the last couple of years. Also, pump kits. Again, CCM. I happen to really like the CCM pump kits on mine. This is the Easy Grip, I think it's called. I'm trying to get a front profile on it for you. Really easy to get your hands on. Feels real good in the hands whenever you're cocking it. And then this one on the Pro Stock is, I believe, no longer in production. This is called the Easy T. A little different feeling, but for guys with bigger, beefier hands like me, I think I'm like a Gorilla Hybrid. It's very easy to get a hold of. Also, CCM makes 2 basic styles of frames. They have the 45 frame right here, which we all know and love. It's based off the geometry of the Colt 45, 1911. Meant more to be shot like this in real life. It's the thing we all know and love. It's very familiar for paintball players. Honestly, I think I like those a little bit more. They also make what's called the 86 frame, which is on this gun. Maybe down my white shirt, maybe you can see it better. There you go. This is actually designed more for a paintball mindset because you're holding the gun more like this. So it's more of a vertical hold in your hand, and it's actually, once you get used to it, very, very comfortable. Barrels, I always recommend a kit when you're playing pump. You know, you have the MacDev Shift kit, the Tech iFit kit. If you want to get split hairs, you can buy a bunch of different UL backs, you know, in different bore sizes. You have the ever popular Freak kit, which is pretty much was pretty much my go-to for a lot of years until Simon Stevens came out with the Stella kit, which I have on here. Now, the big thing about the Stella kit is just like a lot of other barrel, you know, two-piece barrel kits out there. This is technically three, but for our discussion right now, it's a two-piece. You have the sized barrel back, and this one is, I believe, 690. Must have been shooting some big paint that day. But the real kicker with Stellas is you have the sized fronts. This is a 697 front, and the idea is you're getting a longer, tighter bore on the ball. And I can tell you from experience that this produces a nice, quiet shot and nice, tight groupings. I use this on my Squish. I use it on my Axe. Pretty much all my guns have taken autococker thread. I use this barrel. It looks funky sometimes, but if it works, it ain't stupid. Getting back to it, though, you know, there are a few upgrades you can put on your guns to make them a little bit more usable. One of the things, I can't remember what year it was, but WGP switched to threaded feed necks. So I try to buy bodies from that year and later. I want to say it was 04, but it might have been 05. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now. But having a threaded feed neck means you can take that stovepipe off and you can put, you know, something like a CCM clamper on it. So you can put your rotors and your Spires and your Pinocchios and your all the different loaders out there, because it's really nice to, at least in my point of view, to be able to use the same gear on all my guns. Which leads us to hoppers. Now, there's a big debate in pump, you know, what hopper's better? You know, should I keep my force fed? Should I go with a little pocket hopper? What about a Viewloader 2000 with the shake and shoot, or, you know, a Revolution? The only answer I have for you there is use the one you like. Personally, I like using a force fed because I know that next ball is going to be in the breech. I just know it. Whereas with the shake and shoots, I've chopped a ball by accident. As far as air tanks go, I have a SL68 and SL77. I use both of those on my pumps because that's what I'm used to. Some guys will go out and buy the little 13 cubic inch tanks. I find them to be too small for my arms. That's really about it. To sum up, basically, if it's working, don't upgrade it. If it's not there, go ahead and upgrade it. Like the gentleman last night didn't have a high pressure reg. Buy what feels good to you. Buy what you like. And if you're going to start upgrading something, make sure it's something that's worthwhile to upgrade. I think that's probably the biggest point I was trying to stress to that gentleman last night. You know, we can all go out and buy a rusted out freaking Subaru that's never going to pass inspection and put a bunch of crap on it, but it's still just a rusted out Subaru. I think that's about it, fellas. And I hope you have a good night. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm very tired. I will talk to you later.